Today to hear about how Coach Painter was, and as you know, Andy's veteran report, maybe not. There were some non-rookie teams that he peeled the paint off of. That might have been some shoddy reporting. But you know what? The games are so fast and furious, so you can't lose the game twice, right? Like it's move on. You got Minnesota. You focus on that.
Gophers a 1-for-6 start to this one. Here's Cox again aggressive. The jumper won't go, and the rebound ripped down from Minnesota. And quickly up the floor comes Langston Reynolds. He'll go end to end, and it's poke free.
Like 91% of his shots on the year are at the basket. He is looking to get there. Active hands again, man. But you start rocking that ball, you make it available, and Braden Smith has been so active defensively to start this game.
Here's Tyson, good position inside. Count the bucket. Last year at North Carolina, only averaged 2.6 points per game. Just could not really crack the rotation in any significant way.
Which is kind of crazy, just because of you watch him play and the IQ that he plays with. It's kind of hard to believe that he wasn't able to get to the floor.
Well, he's got the build, he's got the game. Yeah. We've seen it early.
Well, and like family-wise, his brother plays for the Denver Nuggets. There's a lot to like about Cade Tyson.
Three-point advantage for Purdue.
Grayson Grove, this is a tough spot for him. 6'9" freshman, having to play against one of the bigger and more physical front courts in the country.
Fletcher Lawyer able to pull it away. Daniel Jacobsen changing that shot of Cade Tyson on the baseline.
Well, it's not a surprise to see that he's leading the Big Ten in block percentage. Certainly his minutes kind of hamper what his numbers will be from a blocks per game, but when he's on the floor, he is altering and blocking shots.
Here's Kaufman-Renn against Crocker Johnson, who's already got one personal foul, and Kaufman-Renn goes right at him.
I just don't think you can get your guys to understand how effective Trey Kaufman-Renn is at getting to his right hand until they get out there and see it in person. You can read it on the scouting report all you want, but he is so good at getting what he wants.
Reynolds trying to get inside. That ball poked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Gophers with 17 to shoot. Coming up, the Hoops doubleheader continues when Wisconsin clashes with undefeated Nebraska next on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Good ball game coming up between those two schools.
How about the start Nebraska's gotten off to? But if they have ranked Mass last year, it's a very different story with Bryce Williams.
Nebraska team building on their crown championship and carrying it right into this season. Here's Grayson Grove, the three, way off the mark for Grove. That's his first three-point attempt of the season. On the other end, the quick three from Lawyer won't go. There's Braden Smith again.
Fletcher Lawyer got off to that torrid start shooting the ball, but he's now 3 of his last 13 from 3. Through his first little slump of the season shooting it.
There's Kaufman-Renn, backs out for 3, and the rebound to Reynolds.
You can make that. He's only taken 2 on the year. Knocked down one of them.
Here, the true freshman from Israel, the late arrival this summer. Minnesota down 5 despite that 2-for-9 start. Here's Asuma. Off the mark 3, and the rebound Kaufman-Renn.
They're going to have to make some of these perimeter shots, and that whoa, wow.
And Matt Painter, you thought he saw a Yeti.
But for the Gophers, they made some very timely second-half threes against Indiana. They're going to need to make them here in Mackey Arena.
Extra pass to Tyson for the open 3. Cannot connect. Offensive rebound attempt inside. Scrum on the floor. It's Asuma who comes up with it.
Wow. Minnesota's playing hard. They did against Indiana, and give Nico Medved a lot of credit, because that Santa Clara game, it was going sideways. You finish that one good. There's the cutting. Durkin with a great cut.
And count the bucket. Wow. Brought in. He was Davidson's top three-point shooter a year ago. Brought into Minnesota to provide that spark outside, but a 3 the old-fashioned way, and it's a 2-point game.
He made 150 threes in his first 2 years of college hoops.
Here's Braden Smith trying to answer, and he does.
I love the action. Because a cross screen for Trey Kaufman-Renn is going to attract so much attention. It's screen for the screener. Now you get one for Braden Smith, and he finishes it off with the 3.
Smith 8 points, 3 rebounds, and a steal already. High shin holster for Minnesota bench. Under 10 to shoot. It's Grove finding Osima. 2 seconds. He steps back for a 3. Good defense by Purdue. Never got a good look. Meyer around the Jacobsen screen. Step back from the elbow from Meyer, and Jacobsen there with a rebound. Foul on.
That he's
sandwiching those two guys.
No question. But also from the national assist record, the fact that that's in play with Bobby Hurley, that's incredible.
I was here all afternoon, didn't leave the building, and Braden Smith was on the floor. He was the first player after their shoot around by about an hour and a half after. He was out here. That's leadership. When your best player, and this was you, Robbie, when you were a player, when your best player is your hardest worker, that sends the message to the rest of the group.
What a pass that was from Braden Smith. Andy, we have an award over here for you for being the first one that stayed, the only one that stayed in the building, I believe.
Now, I will say, are we counting the time spent at both of the shoot-arounds? Because only 2 of us were at both today. As Purdue takes it away again.
Braden Smith's effort defensively, he has been all over the place in this game.
Smith the flip around, and it gets to Lawyer. Kaufman-Renn staying with that one against Tyson. Minnesota just ice cold. Where will the offense come from against this stifling Boilermaker defense?
Reynolds is certainly a guy that can do this, and I like the fact you get the matchup with Jacobsen.
Reynolds cannot convert on the 4th and 1 of the first half for Minnesota. Honestly, if you told Nico Medved they were 1 for 10 from 3 and 5 of 18 from the floor, and they were down just 10 at Purdue, he'd probably feel pretty good about that. And lob to Jacobsen, and he can't handle the pass.
They're not exactly a team that shoots a ton of threes.
No.
They only attempt 21 a game.
There's Crocker Johnson inside. Braden Smith.
It's everywhere.
Kind of feel like there's more than one number 3 on the floor. Smith to the end of the floor, and he's fouled by appearance. But they haven't started 2-0 in that time.
Yeah, believe it or not, I think Robbie had a couple of those upsets early in December. It's only happened 6 times in Matt Painter's career that they've started 2-0. But think about this, the December Big Ten games started in 2017, and during that time, only 2 times, 17 and 2022, did they go 2-0 in December. Now, they still won the league in 19, 23, and 24. Still, it is rare for Purdue to go 2-0 in December.
And the rebound ripped down by Osima. Good play to get his own back, and the 3 from Crocker Johnson will fall in the scramble. Minnesota gets the 3.
Well, what an effort by Minnesota to get that ball back. There was nothing going on offensively. Purdue locking down on the defensive end, but you make an effort play on the glass, and now with Purdue a little bit out of sorts off the offensive rebound, you get a wide open one.
There's Braden Smith on the drive. His dish deflected to Lawyer. And Lawyer feeling the contact.
You guys as well for the championship title game run. No, I think it's somewhat coincidence that Robbie has called these upsets in December, notably the Rutgers game, if I'm not mistaken. But it is kind of crazy.
You want to bring them all up?
It is crazy. You would assume they always start 2-0 because of their success in the Big Ten. That just hasn't been the case.
If you want to beat Purdue, make sure Robbie's in the building. Inside and the cut to Durkin for 2.
Drive on the baseline, and we talked a lot about Cade Tyson as a cutter, but Bobby Durkin a very good cutter as well. Both those guys just know how to play.
Even points in the paint between Purdue and Minnesota. 12 of the 20 that Minnesota scored have been inside. And you mentioned it, it's not a big 3-point shooting team, so that's not necessarily a surprising statistic. Here's Smith, 6 to shoot, dropping it off for Kaufman-Renn. Good touch from the free throw line.
Pocket pass is so impressive. I mean, he is burning it to his right side and just throwing it right back across his body. We talked about it earlier in the game. When you can get Trey Kaufman-Renn in the short roll, good things are going to happen for Purdue's offense.
What impresses me, Rob, is the amount of control he has on that pass. As Crocker Johnson hits again from three, he's got all three of them.
Yeah, they've been playing off him. And even though his percentage isn't good on the season at 28%, he's made a couple of them. He was a 35% three-point shooter last year at Colorado State. Purdue kind of daring him to beat him. And early on here, he has made him pay a couple times.
C.J. Cox was aggressive early, drops it off underneath to Jacobsen, and Jacobsen just bigger than everybody in Crocker Johnson with 2 fouls to boot.
But not an easy catch there for Jacobsen. And that bounce pass, those big guys want that thing thrown up. C.J. Cox, even though it was kind of a high bounce pass, that was not easy for the 7'4" Jacobsen.
There's Tyson. Held him in check tonight. Crocker Johnson, another 3. This time off, and Kaufman-Renn there to clean it up.
You can see that Jacobsen doesn't necessarily love guarding on the perimeter because he wants to block shots.
Boyer trying to save it. It ends up with Minnesota. Gophers Crocker Johnson rather 3 of 6 from 3. The rest of the team's 0 for 8.
I think Braden Smith kind of got in between shooting that and passing it. Jacobsen had looked away, so he was going to pass to him and then saw he wasn't going to catch it or even see it, so he kind of shot it. Ended up being an air ball.
Asama with the 3, and the first non-Crocker Johnson shot that goes in from 3 for Minnesota.
All of a sudden, Minnesota's starting to catch a little bit of fire here from the three-point line. He said they're going to need to make some timely ones. Same thing as what they did against Indiana. And here to end the first half, they've now knocked down 4 of them.
Smith trying to take over this game. Can't connect on that one, and Kate Tyson corrals the rebound. A little hesitation.
Cut.
Drop off to Tyson. From Gene Katie. 33 wins to his head coach for Purdue's all-time winningest coach.
Well, just you look at that graphic. How many good coaches are there? Everybody's a good coach in the Big Ten. Right? It's really awesome when you look across the league at the talent that we have at molding these young basketball minds.
And how cool is it that we get to go watch their practices and talk to these guys and learn about basketball? How about Braden Smith? He has been all over the floor. That's a shot clock violation.
I didn't know
he lost a highlight there.
He had the freedom of the whistle. That's what he had right there. What a block. Defensively, he has been tremendous tonight.
But then look at this. Oh! But it didn't happen. So he did not miss the dunk. Here's Lawyer, a little confidence, a little pep in his step now after a couple went in, and a good feed down low to Daniel Jacobsen.
Well, a great decision, right? Because he's such a weapon shooting the ball. You've got 2 Gopher defenders jumping out at him. And after you've now made a couple, the team's going to start guarding you different. You're going through a slump. They obviously respect his ability to shoot. But after he's made a couple now, it's a different animal. And that's making the right read.
Smith again. Jacobsen doing some work in the block. He gets the feed. Double shows. Back out to Cox for 3. Kaufman-Renn, another offensive rebound. To put that. 4 fouls on Asama now. 3 on Crocker Johnson. There's Smith. Lob to Jacobsen, and the alley-oop flushed home. 21-0. A 3-touchdown burst out of the locker room for Purdue in the second half.
Just like that, they're up to 30 points in the paint. It was a clear directive, whether it's in the post up, off the drive, out of pick and roll, they were going to throw it inside.
And finally, Minnesota cracks the seal on scoring. 19-0 for Purdue before Tyson is able to get on the board. What a job they've done on the second leading scorer in the Big Ten tonight with just 7 points. Trey Kaufman-Renn. The paint points soaring right now for Purdue. You called for it to start this second half.
And Minnesota just doesn't have an answer. Whether they go man or they go zone, the size and the physicality of Purdue has just overwhelmed them in the second half.
Tyson off the Reynolds miss. His shot blocked away. And Kaufman-Renn peels it away. Jacobsen. Tough catch, and it's knocked out of bounds. Let's go back to the play a moment ago to Jacobsen.
This time it's out of the pick and roll. You're bringing your big out. He sets the screen, and now you're rolling. There's just nobody home. You got Trey Kaufman-Renn ducking in on the strong side, occupying that help. got Kaufman-Renn. He's ducking in. He's occupying defenders. And with Jacobsen's size advantage, it's just throw it up there and let him go get it.
Tyson inside and a travel. Kaufman-Renn.
Gold medal team that was coached by Tommy Lloyd of Arizona, played with Koa Pete, AJ DeBonsa. You could see how confident he is. Now in his game, he's gotten bigger and stronger. He needed action like that over the summer, and it's really helped him.
And it's helped Purdue 27-2 in the second half for the Boilermakers.
Well, Minnesota's 2-3 zone has not had much resistance, and Trey Kaufman-Renn is just flashing in there and shooting floaters off of one pass.
Trey Kaufman-Renn, 5th double-double of the year, 9th of his career. Been a real workman-like double-double, and again, Andy talked about no paint peeling after the Iowa State loss for Purdue in the locker. I can't imagine Matt Painter spent a lot of time peeling paint off the walls at halftime of this game, but it does appear that they said, get it inside.
Yeah, we have to be more focused in the attack, is I'm sure what their message was.
And clearly message received. Reynolds, 3 on the shot clock. Crocker Johnson.
He doesn't know it.
Has to hoist quickly, didn't get it to go, and there's Braden Smith again. (27-2) in the second half for Purdue.
Kevin, we've seen Braden Smith do a ton of incredible things offensively, but just in terms of his defensive effort and the energy that he's extended on that end tonight, it's just about as good as I can ever remember.
It's as complete a game as I think we've seen in a long time.
His offensive abilities and his performances are what they are. He's certainly been better on that end than we've seen tonight, but the defensive effort here has been outstanding.
And a whistle away from the ball and a foul. Looks like statistical numbers of a triple-double 10 times in his career. He's 4 rebounds away from a triple-double, and I will just point out, he's 4 rebounds and 5 steals away from a quadruple-double.
He better start gambling if he's going to get to that.
And if you're wondering, it has happened before. Lester Hudson in the 2007-2008 season recorded the only quadruple double in NCAA Division I men's basketball history.
Look at you diving deep.
You got to find that answer, because if that happens tonight, you got to be ready. He did it against Central Baptist College. 25 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, and 10 steals. It's a good night.
I would say.
Braden Smith hunting down that quadruple double. Can't get a steal here, but we'll go with that story.
You get a turnover though, man. But
that doesn't count in your quadruple double.
That's like, you know, him and Jack Benter are having a conversation here, and that's probably a bit of a force. But I felt this when I played with Ricky Rubio. You better be ready.
Yeah.
Because this dude can embarrass you and hit you in the face with some passes, right? Like you better be aware if you're cutting, if you're you know, even if you're hanging out on the three-point line, he is going to see you. His vision is incredible.
For a time, Ricky Rubio might have been the best passer.
No question.
Tyson, 5 to shoot. Crocker Johnson to work against Benter, clears some space and gets the 2. Crowd, as you might imagine, not.
They thought maybe a little discard there with the off arm.
Makes it a 29-4 Purdue advantage in the second half and a 64-36 lead on the scoreboard.
I love running these handoffs for Lawyer to get to his right hand. That was pretty well defended, but then you handle all of it with Lawyer, and then you.
36 to play in this one. Purdue trying to move to 2-0 and 9-1 on the year. Smith turns, tough shot, and he made it look easy against Cade Tyson.
But what patience there. He gets to the body, knocks you back, he shows the shot fake, and then it's the footwork. And understanding that when you jump stop, you can always get to your turnaround jumper. That's a dime.
That is a real nice feed and a good cut by Kai Shinholster.
When Minnesota moves that thing from side to side and they just flow in there, those back cuts can be so challenging to defend.
We saw it in the latter half of the first half. That's how they got back into this game. They skip into the corner. Harris's three is good. Jakari Harris on the assist from Braden Smith, and Purdue's hit their last 8 shots.
You just can't take it all away. You're so concerned about Braden Smith with the ball. You're so concerned about the roll man. You've got to give something up, and that's going to be those weak side threes. And Purdue's making those. That they are in business.
Grove, man, vision there. Osama back up top to Crocker Johnson. He had the hot hand from 3 in the first half. Rebound tipped into the hands of Osama. Crocker Johnson.
Good close out there by Jack Benner. He'll take away the jumper, take away the bounce. Good defense.
6 to shoot. Grove. Osama's going to have to hurry. Back out to Tyson for 3. And Crocker Johnson called for the foul.
Because 6 of his 10 games with 4 fouls or more. He's too important to this team. They need him on the floor. He's felt like he's been in foul trouble every game.
And you don't have the depth to withstand losing him every game to foul trouble. Try to break the Huskers win streak that dates all the way back to the Crown in Las Vegas. Braden Smith line. We're on triple double watch. We're on quadruple double watch. You know, look how loose he is, knowing that history could happen tonight.
You've been on the stats dating back to the Crown, but you were there. So
I was there.
That's why you were able to pull that one so easily.
Yes, you and I were both there to see the start of Nebraska's run, which began because they didn't make the NCAA tournament after losing to Iowa in the regular season finale last year.
But they changed the Big Ten tournament. Essentially, you know, think about some of the changes that get made, because you're like, well, you can't take your team's opportunities away. It was a learning experience for all. We'll say that.
Yes.
You add more teams, you just have to go through some growing pains.
There will never be an announcer who utters again they did not make the Big Ten tournament.
That's right.
No, I'll make it. There's Braden Smith. Extra pass. Benter for 3.
Braden Smith was surveying the whole way, all the way to under the rim.
Tyson on the drive. Oh, what a challenge! Entertaining game.
Jack Lusk has got to get a bucket.
Yeah.
He was like 6 years old when I played here. It's terrifying that he is now in college.
Trying to tip in off the fine miss. Jacobsen can't connect. 1:15 to go. Turner coming up on a minute to play in this one.
I thought we might see him tonight just because of the size mismatches out there.
Tyson on the run, and there's a foul.
Player in the league. He gets to the line. He shoots it from 3. He's a good player. Purdue did a heck of a job on him tonight.
There's Fine. Lusk looking inside to Jacobsen. Jacobsen fouled with 38.6 seconds to play. They visit a matchup with Auburn. That game is in Indianapolis next Saturday, the neutral site game that has become so popular in college basketball these last few years, and that'll be a fun matchup as well.
Auburn kind of trying to find themselves post Bruce Pearl.
They are.
Stephen taken over. Great win in Vegas over St. John's. Kind of found a way in that one. Tough learning lesson last weekend in Tucson for that group. But talented guard. I mean, Todd Pettiford's a problem.
Yep. Drop down to Turner, blocked by Jacobsen, and that's a tie-up. It'll belong to Purdue.